What's up? What's up? Welcome to day 5 of the 5-day money challenge. It's your girl Nia checking in. And can we say thank God it's Friday? I mean, are y'all with me? Thank you that it is Friday. It's not Friday, it is Friday. You hear me? Do you hear me? If you anything like me, you ready to kick off this Friday? You ready to get this day going? I need to wipe off my screen and I need to wipe off my screen, make sure I'm good to go, because we about to kick this Friday off going. About to kick this Friday off and keep it going. Welcome to day 5 of the 5-day money challenge. Today is the last day. Can y'all believe it? As usual, we're going to get right into it and not hold you for long. Okay, so as usual, Facebook was acting crazy today, as it's been acting this whole challenge, but it's okay. Facebook, it's Friday. Okay, so today's the last day that we got to worry about me being on here. After today, I'll be getting off. Okay, me and my tan will be gone. Let me go live on Instagram, and then we can get it started. Getting messages. So what's up? Welcome to day 5 of the 5-day money challenge, and let's go. If this is your first time here, this is a challenge that I do twice a year. And I go live, I talk about different things and help you work to eliminate debt, save money so that you can achieve financial wealth. Hi, Phyllis. How you doing? Thanks for joining. And so we're going to get right into it. So giveaway. As I said, there is a giveaway. So in order to get the giveaway, you have to do 4 things. The first thing you got to do is follow me on 2 platforms. That's going to be any 2 platforms. That can be the platform formerly known as Twitter. It can be Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Either one of those, you can follow me on any of them. 2 of each though. I mean, 2, you have to follow me on 2. Then you got to participate. Participate in, what does that look like? That looks like commenting in the chat. That looks like tagging someone else, sharing the live. That looks like just, doing the homework every day and posting the badge that you've done the homework. And then lastly, I ask that you share this. Tag your accountability partner in the chat. Today is the last day. Can we believe we made it to the last day, y'all? Y'all don't know how crazy and hectic of a week this has been for me. Like, it has definitely taken work for me to be able to show up for y'all every day this week. It's been work. But we're going to get into it. We're going to get right into it. So let's recap. What have we talked about on all 4 of these days to prepare for this challenge? What have we talked about? Okay. So on day 1, we talked about money mindset, and we talked about the things and habits that we have that we are sabotaging our own finances. We talked about how we have limiting beliefs, how we talk down to ourselves, how we talk ourselves out of going after different opportunities, and how all of those things affect our finances. Then on day 2, now that we know what we're doing to affect our finances, then day 2, we then looked at creating SMART goals and deciding what we want to do and what financial goals we have. And then we worked on creating a budget so that we know how to actually accomplish those goals. So that's what we did then. On day 3, we talked about eliminating the debt that's standing in between us and our goals. You see where we're going? You see how this challenge, everything helps and everything picks up off the other day? So on day 3, that's what we did. We talked about how we can remove that debt out the way between. So this is us and this is our goal. And we talked about how we can remove that debt that's in between us and our goal. That's what we talked about on day 3. Okay. And then yesterday on day 4, we talked about how savings is the seed money to our goals, and how savings is the seed money to achieving wealth, and how effective and beneficial that savings is. Now, if you're watching this, definitely type in the chat where exactly you are watching this from. Make sure you hit that like, follow, subscribe button, wherever platform you are watching this on. If you want to get these type of gems, because every day, all day, I drop down to earth money and home buying tips for high achieving women seeking the financial stability that they desire and deserve. So if that sounds like you need to be following me, liking this, and letting them know that you want to hear more of what I'm talking about. So we did the recap. Now today, you see what we've talked about on all these other 4 days. Today, we're going to talk about spending. So I always save spending for last, because spending is the biggest budget buster that we have. Spending is the biggest budget buster that also stands. So you got debt that stands in between us and our finances, but what creates debt? Yes, we have things and life experiences that happen that trigger debt, but what ultimately creates debt? A lot of times it's your spending. So if you can get a hold of your spending, then you might have the key to helping you achieve wealth, if spending is your issue. But I want you to understand that when it comes to spending and it comes to working on fixing or getting better about bad spending habits. So I help high achieving women overcome bad spending habits. When it comes to spending and overcoming bad spending habits, it's not as easy as saying, oh, let me just cut out a cup of coffees. Let me just do a couple of no spend months. It's going to take you getting down to the root of that problem. I have my own DIY framework that I teach my students in my course, the Money Moves course. And what I teach you is how you get down to the root. In order for you to break bad spending habits, you're going to have to get down to the root of where those spending habits came from. How did you start using money like that? What is your relationship with money? Those things are all going to be important when it comes to you looking to overcome bad spending habits. Okay. So now let's get into it today. So we talked a lot about me this week. We've talked about a lot about my money chronicles, what I've done. We talked a lot about my financial mistakes and different things that I have overcome in order to get where I am financially and get to this point where I can achieve. Might be detachment issues. Yes, that's very true. Detachment issues can definitely affect your finances. So it's really important for you to not just focus on the transactional part of it and just focus on, oh, well, let me just stop spending, or, oh, I could do this. Like a lot of people, they try to stop spending and they try to budget, but they fail because they didn't try to actually go down and figure out why they have the relationship with money that they have. So that's one of the things in my course that I like to explore. I have you go through and do homework that basically has you explore how you saw money as a child, what your relationship with money looks like, how you feel about people who have more money than you, and then how you feel about people who have less money than you. Because believe it or not, how you feel about other people with money and without money can also be real telling of what your relationship with money is and what you think about money. For example, if you think that all people who are wealthy are ultimately evil just because they're wealthy, that says a lot about how you see money and how you think of money. So you got to get down deep into things like that if you're really wanting to correct and overcome spending habits. So like I said, we talked a lot about the money mistakes that I myself have made and the different things this week because I've been live every day this week. So let's talk about some of my credentials, because I know we've talked about me 4 days. Every day I try to give you a little bit more info about me, but I don't like to lead with my credentials. But even though I don't like to lead with my credentials, I don't want you to think that I'm just out here without none either, because sometimes you got to remind people and let them know, like, I do this. I truly do this, but I'm just not a person who leads with credentials, but I have them. So you spend 50. But here go the thing. You spend $50 to $100 whenever you leave the house. Well, you might want to stay at home some days then. And then when you stay at home, you got to be careful to make sure you watching so that you're not on the online spending money. Because that's the thing too. A lot of people say, oh, well, let me just stay at home because outside is expensive. Well, if I stay at home because outside is expensive, I got to make sure I'm watching my phone when I'm in the house too, because online shopping is just as dangerous. Let me tell you, it's actually, it might be a little bit more dangerous, but we're talking all about spending today. So I'm going to tell y'all about some of the ways and some of the tricks of the trade that they have out here that conditions you to spend and makes it so much easier for you to spend, so you can understand that it's not just you being bad with money. Like, stop saying that you are bad with money. You know what I'm saying? That's not necessarily the truth. There are different things out here that encourage you to spend and make you feel like that's just normal. That's just life. That's what you should do. Okay. So my credentials, I have an MBA in finance. I am a certified financial education instructor. For those of you who are just tuning in today, this is the 5-day money challenge. I've gone live Monday through Friday, and each day I give a different lesson about different parts of the 5-day money challenge. Now, on Monday, we talked about your mindset and how limiting beliefs and self-doubt and different things like that, scarcity mindsets, and how those things play a role into your finances. And then on Tuesday, we talked about creating goals so we can decide what exactly we want to do to actually accomplish our financial goals. And then we talked about budgets. We talked about budgets so that we can actually create a plan to help us get from here to our goals. Then on the 3rd day of the challenge, we talked about debt, because as I said, a lot of times debt is what stands in between you and that goal. So we talked about debt on the 3rd day. On the 4th day, we talked about savings and how savings are your seed money to wealth, and how savings help you be able to buy that house, start investing, start that business, or a lot of the things that we want to do. If we had a savings, it would help us achieve our wealth quicker. Okay. And so today we're talking all about spending. And each day I've also given you all a clue and information about our journey and about my journey and what I myself have gone through being a financial educator, and how I came about to be a financial educator. I probably created just about most financial mistakes you could think about. I've been evicted. I've foreclosed on my first property that I bought at 27. I told that story yesterday. I have filed bankruptcy before. I've been laid off and lost my job before. Like, I've done all of those things, and I was able to work on my journey and work on my relationship with money to be able to overcome them, to become who I am today. So despite me being evicted or getting foreclosed, I'm now a real estate investor. So just to let you know that it's not necessarily to flex, but to let you know that just because you have money mistakes or you have financial mistakes that you make, it does not mean that that's your end all be all. It does not mean that you're not able to turn that around and turn it into a triumph. So I like to lead with those things, what I've done and what I've experienced, rather than lead with my credentials. So on the last day, I like to come and tell you my credentials to say, like, don't, even though I have not told you about them, I do have education and experience that I also add to that. So an MBA in finance, a certified financial education instructor. As I said before, I'm a real estate investor. I'm a 3 times author. And I'm a Freddie Mac Credit Smart Facilitator candidate. I'm currently in that program. And I've used a lot of what I learned in my experiences, and I created the Money Moves course. And this is a 4-week course that I created. And that's what, yes, feel free, interact, ask questions. Yes, I'm taking questions. Feel free, ask your questions, definitely. So I always like questions because it makes it interactive, and whatever question you ask, it might be somebody else who has a similar question. So definitely feel free. But I created this challenge. I created the 5-day money challenge as really a way for me to give back. That's why I do it and I show up every day, because it's a way for me, one, to remind myself of my mission and why I started this business, and also my dedication to help us do better with money. You know what I'm saying? Now, I need y'all to know and do me a favor this evening, okay? I'm actually battling one of my FinCom buddies. And if you don't follow me on YouTube, if YouTube is a platform that you are on, please follow me. If you're on TikTok, you can find it in my bio. If not, it's Nia's Perspectives with no apostrophe on YouTube. And I thank you for anybody tuning in. And we're going to keep it going. So now that we talked about that, and I asked you for my little favor, we've talked a lot of this week about different things. And I keep saying, oh, I'm a 3-time author. I'm a 3-time author. But I've written about 3 books, and I'm going to read you an excerpt from my latest book. Now, I dropped this book in May of this year, and the name of this book is Budgets, Mindsets, and Money Moves. So I'm going to read this small part from my book, okay? So, you pride yourself on excelling in your career, education, and other areas of life. You see goals and you conquer them. However, when it comes to money management, you feel like the concept goes over your head. You've just operated without taking a deeper dive into your money moves because, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. You carry high balances on your credit cards. You're struggling with debt elimination. You make poor spending decisions that negatively impact your mental and physical health. For some, it's just what you've grown accustomed to. It's just what you're used to. You know what I'm saying? For you, that's just a normal way of life. Carrying high debt balances is simply a way of life for you and normal. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's not really normal. That you don't have to live your life like that. And it does not have to, debt does not have to be a part of your finances. Having to pay all these different debt balances every time you get paid does not have to be a part of your finances. So if you want to feel mentally better, like a New York Post article said, 4 in 5, which is about 84% of individuals surveyed, said they feel mentally better if they know they have their finances under control. And nearly about 78% believe that having financial stability can have a positive domino effect in their lives. So the important about that is your mental health and your financial wealth are closely related. They cousins. And I'm not talking about those cousins that you only see when you go to funerals. I'm talking about their cousins. They're closely related. And the key principles of this challenge came from my book. So the Budgets, Mindsets, and Money Moves book is where these key principles came that I'm teaching in this challenge. Okay. So I'm kind of teaching, I guess you could say, a small part of the book. The goal of the book is to help you build confidence in your financial decisions and help you change your money story. That's really what the goal of that book is that I wrote. So can I tell y'all something and brag on one of my clients real quick, if y'all don't mind? I'm going to brag on my client real quick. So meet Monica. Now, Monica came to me. She makes about $120,000 a year. Of course, I changed her name for, to protect her identity, but she's okay with me sharing this story. So she makes about $120,000 a year. Okay. She owns about 2 properties. She has about $90,000 in debt. Okay. And that $90,000 in debt is not including her properties, and it's not including any student loans. Okay. So this is when she first met me, first found out about her. This is like really what she presented with. And even though she made $120,000 a year, she still felt like she was struggling. She still felt like she was drowning because that $90,000 in debt basically equaled very high monthly payments that she had to continue to make every time she got paid. So for her, most people think that, oh, I just want to make 6 figures. I want to make 6 figures. And that's the goal. But for her, she made 6 figures and she still was struggling. She still was drowning. So the goal is to manage your money and take control of your finances. That's what the goal is. Okay. So she had about 7 credit cards that she needed to pay off. She has 3 children. Now, one of her children is older, so there's two children that's actually in the house with her. But at the end of the day, she had tried before and she was unsuccessful, and she was at the point where she felt hopeless. She felt kind of overwhelmed. She didn't really know where to begin. And most of her credit cards had 3-digit minimum payments. So that means that she has at least $200-300 minimum payments for these credit cards, which that adds up. You know what I'm saying? That's going to add up every month. Every time you get paid, you got your paycheck, and then they all got their handout. So when it came down to it, she was getting sick of it, you know what I'm saying? And she really had made extra payments. That was another thing. She used to make a little bit over the monthly payment and felt like, she was trying to pay it down, but she felt like the balances was never really going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So, and she didn't really consider herself a huge shopper. So she was kind of like, well, I don't really shop that much. So what's my problem? Like, I don't really shop a lot. So why is it that I still feel like I can't get underwater? I can't get from underwater is what she was trying to figure out. Well, once we got down to it, she signed up for the Money Moves course. And what we discovered is many of her wants or things that she wanted, she would purchase them on a credit card. In her head, purchasing it on a credit card was like, oh, well, I'll pay it back when I get paid. And she felt like, well, I'm not using my cash. You know what I'm saying? I'm not using my cash. I could just charge it on my credit card. So that's what she would do. Well, whenever she got paid, she didn't pay it off. By that time, life had been lifing, or something else had happened. So she would get to that point and she wouldn't even actually pay it off. So what happened is those balances kept raising and raising and raising and raising. So now it got to the point where, yes, she got credit cards and her credit cards have high balances, but she's using most of those balances. So that's the predicament that she was in at that point. You know what I'm saying? So she took the Money Moves course, which has 4 modules. She took the Money Moves course. She learned about budgeting, and she learned to budget based on her lifestyle and her personality. So after applying the principles she learned, let me tell you, after learning the principles that she learned in the course, tell me why she was over there shedding debt and being able to get rid of debt. She paid off $12,000 in her first no spend month. Can you hear me? I'm going to say that again. She paid off $12,000. I'm sorry. I love to brag on my clients. She paid off $12,000 in debt her first no spend month. And she still hasn't paid off everything. She started the program in January of 2022. So she has not completed it yet where she's completely debt free. But at this point today, she only owes $15,000. So can we clap for her? Because that's taking action. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's getting down to it, cutting the excuses and getting it done. So she plans to be credit card debt free by the end of 2023. That's her goal. So I haven't checked in with her. Last time I talked to her, where she had the 15,000 was a little bit earlier in the year. So I'll look, if she made a balance sheet, I bet she found where she was spending. Right. So that's exactly what part of the Money Moves course has you do. It has you make a tracker. It has you track your spending and track. I gotta plug up my thing. It has you track your spending and track where your money is going so you can identify that. And that's how she was able to figure out that she was spending most of her money on her credit cards, but most of the things she was buying was wants. Because that's one of the things I have people do. I have them go look and see how much interest they're being charged every month on all of their credit cards. And then I have them go look and see how much their interest payments are. How much their minimum payments are, and add those two numbers up. When you add those two numbers up, that's a big chunk of your money that's just leaving every month, because every month they're charging you this amount of interest just for you borrowing that money from them. So that's money that's just leaving out the door and not going towards your financial goals. So you absolutely right. Once she did that, she was able to figure out where she was spending the money. And you know what? You do it, and it might be tedious, but you only need to do it so many times. You see what I'm saying? It's not like you have to do it every single week or something like that. It's tedious the first time, just like budgeting is. But as you continue to do it and it becomes a natural habit and it becomes something that you are constantly and familiar with doing, it's so much quicker. Like now, budgeting is simple for me. It takes me an easy amount of time to budget because it's a part of my lifestyle. It's what I do. I budget for trips I go on. I budget, you know what I'm saying? So it's so much simpler, but it's just that first getting over that hump. It's like when you haven't been to the gym in a long time and now you got to try to get back on a workout regimen. That first time you go to the gym is like, oh, I really don't feel like doing this. That's essentially what exactly it is. It's very similar to that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's not a life sentence at all. So we have to realize that the money spent on debt month after month is really taking you further and further away from your financial goals. All that money adds up per month, per year. So when it comes down to that, I feel like it's important to see. So like I love to talk about my clients. I love to brag on them and see them win. It is not a get rich quick journey. It's not a, oh, you're going to get out of hundreds of debt tomorrow. It's a journey. It is a self-awareness journey. It's a process. You know what I'm saying? But it's a process that's for you. And at any day of the week, you're always going to be worth it. You're always going to be worth it. You know what I'm saying? So if you enjoyed this challenge, like I said, this is day 5. I kicked it up a notch because, like I said, so most of this challenge came from my book, Budgets, Mindsets, and Money Moves. And then I kicked it up a notch. I created the Money Moves course. So the Money Moves course gives you a video version with worksheets, y'all. So I know people love real exercises. It's great for me to get up here and talk. It's great for me to teach you all about it, but a lot of times you need real life exercises for you to be able to actively do it and use the numbers from your finances in order for you to really grasp some of these concepts. Okay. So with that, and because of that, I created the Money Moves course. Now, the Money Moves course is a 4-week course that I created. I talk about this course all the time, and I talk about my classes and the Money Mastery Academy, but really break it down. What is the Money Moves course? It's one of your best options when it comes to you trying to get the goal of all of this to get your time back. It's not about, oh, I need more money. It's not about chasing money. It's not about chasing to get this and get that. It's about your time. It's about you being able to use more of your money that you work hard for. You went to school. You were up studying. You're working the extra hours. You're prying yourself out of bed for you to go to work. You should be able to enjoy some of that money. You know what I'm saying? And if all of it is going towards debt, you're not enjoying as much of that money you would like to. So the goal of this course is to help you eliminate that debt so that you can travel more. You can take that annual girls trip without you having to feel like you broke after, or without you having to feel like, oh my God, I'm going to go back to all these bills, or you're on the trip and you're not really enjoying it because you're worried about that. You know how so many people always say that they make a budget, but they can't seem to stick to it. So one of the things I did in the course is I show you real budgets. So there's about, I think, 3 or 4 different budgeting techniques that I talk about in the course, but I show you exactly what those budgets looks like, with one of them me doing an actual budget. So the goal is for you to see real life exercises so you know what it looks like when you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I got or sit in the front row at the Beyonce concert. So you missed it yesterday, Dr. Diligent. Yesterday I talked about the Beyonce concert. So I basically asked them if I had Beyonce. Some people budgeted for them and some people didn't. So I asked them yesterday, if you had an opportunity and I told you Beyonce was right here in this other room, what would you do to be able to get in that room? How much money would you spend? And a lot of people said a lot. Well, you spent a lot because you value her. You spent a lot because you value the conversation you will have with her. You value the experience to meet her. And you feel like that's going to change the trajectory of your life. That's why you're willing to want, to get, that conversation. You got $500 or sit down with Jay-Z. People who pick Jay-Z, they're picking him because they feel like it's going to be a valuable conversation. They feel like it's going to be the trajectory. It's going to change the trajectory of their life. The only reason they would pick sitting down with him over $500,000. Well, I need people to get that same energy about themselves. Value yourself, value your finances that same way you value having that conversation with them. Give yourself that same energy that you're giving to get to Beyonce. I'm not saying getting to Beyonce is wrong. I'm not saying going to see her is wrong. I'm not one of those finance people that's going to judge you for what you're going to do. I say do both. Like, I'm not here to say, like I talked about this yesterday too, to catch flights, not feelings. Why can't I catch both? Why can't I catch flights and feelings? Why we got to choose? I want you to be able to financially do both. That's what we about over here. We're not judging you for whatever decisions that you made or haven't made or any like that. And that's what the Money Moves course is all the way about. Real life solutions, lowering your stress, canceling debt, being able to travel more, getting rid of the struggle. Somebody in the chat say me or yes if you ready to get rid of the struggle. Because I know for me, I paid off $50,000 in debt. When I had the debt, it attributed to almost $1,000 a month that I was paying in debt payments. It was somewhere around $800 or $900 that I was paying every month in credit card payments, every single month. You know how much of my money that was just washing away? Because I might be paying $200 on this credit card, but 150 of those is interest that just got charged to me that month. So most of that money is walking right away. And that's why people say, oh, well, I'm making payments. I've been making payments, but I don't see the balance going down, because most of your money is going towards interest that you get charged, especially if you're dealing with high balance credit cards. Like, it's just not worth the headache at the end of the day. So let's get into spending, because that's what we came here to talk today. We came here to talk all about spending. And for this Money Moves course, I chose a beta group. And I had the beta group. I chose four ladies who they all make decent incomes, but they all still felt like they could use some help when it came to finances. And they felt like, you know, they still was doing something wrong and they was tired of doing it wrong. So they joined my group and we took the course. Well, they took the course and they did it one by one. And when we did the spending module and they came back and I asked her, I said, you know, did y'all do the homework? Did you get a chance to watch the lesson? She was like, yes. I said, I sense a little hostility. She was like, yeah, I did the lesson, but it's because what I said in the lesson. So I tell y'all, give y'all that heads up now too. If you take the Money Moves course, you might not like me on part of it. I'm just saying. But even though she had an attitude, she still went and did the work, and she eliminated some subscriptions that she had been charging to her account that she hadn't used in over a year. So she was mad, but she still did the work. And that's why it's called Money Moves. It's not called Money Stagnant. It's not called Money Stay. It's the Money Moves course, okay? Because that's what we're doing. I met people that think only rich people can afford to travel in airplanes. Not only rich people can travel in airplanes. Like, you all don't know what my real complexion is, but I actually have a serious tan because I just spent 2.5 weeks in Europe. I did London, Paris, Barcelona, Rome, and Portugal. And I'm not rich. Sure not. I go to Carnival in Trinidad every year. It does not take you being rich. I travel a lot. I'm an avid traveler. I probably have about 5 trips that I'm paying for right now, but I budget for them. And like I said, I'm paying on them right now. So you can travel. And that's a huge thing that I see. People who want to travel and want to take trips, or when I'm traveling, they ask me so many questions, or I got questions in my inbox asking me. And it's like, you can do this too. Like, I'm not no super bionic person. I'm just a regular human like everybody else. If I can do it, you absolutely can do it. And that's exactly why I teach this. This is why I do what I do. So when it get down to spending, let's talk about some of the main ways that we spend our money and we don't realize we spending it. So the first one is going to be impulse shopping. Impulse shopping is one of the biggest budget busters. Impulse shopping is when you buy something that you did not plan on buying. You walked in, you had no intentions on buying this. This happens a lot at stores like Target. They say, oh, I went in for one thing, I came out with 15 things. And that's what they wanted you to do. Yep. And that's exactly what they planned on you doing. Yep. And that's what they want. And that's what they want you to keep on doing. They want you to keep going in there and go in for one thing and come out with $200 worth of thing. They have people who they pay to calculate the possibility of you going in there for one thing and you coming out spending $200. Exactly. Don't you know how you go to stores like Foot Locker or different places like that, and you buy some shoes and they ask you, do you want to get the insoles, or do you want to get the shoe care, or do you want to get the warranty? All of that stuff is to upsell you so that you spend more money, so that on average, every single sale is multiple items and you're not walking out with one single item. They want you to walk out with multiple items. I worked in sales briefly, and that was one of the main things we got graded on. They did not want anybody walking out with one single item. Our goal was to always upsell and ask you to buy something else, because they did not want you walking out with one thing. They want you to spend more, and their sales depend on it. The next thing that get us all the time, and this is probably more so the ladies than the men, I don't know, but free shipping. And Shein is bad with this. Shein, that free shipping. They will tell you, and I used to have a screen example of this. I believe in the course I have a screen example of this, where they tell you, oh, if you spend $75 more, you can get free shipping. But if you go look at the shipping only costs $7, or the shipping costs $3.99. So spend $75 so you can get free shipping, when you can pay $4 and get the shipping, and just pay $4 for the shipping. You gonna pay the $75? Kohl's got me this summer with that Kohl's. Yes, Kohl's Cash is another one. Kohl's Cash is another one. Another way that we spend a lot is we live above our means. We try to live a lifestyle that our wallets can't handle. That's the best way to put it. We want to live a lifestyle. We want this lavish lifestyle, and we want to do this and go do all these nice and wonderful things, which is nothing wrong with that. But what does your wallet say? When you sat down and had a conversation with your wallet about you doing that, what did it say? Because a lot of us building these lifestyles, but we don't sit down and talk to our wallets about nothing. And that's why we end up in the situations that we in. Next is the food delivery apps. I don't know about y'all, but I've ordered something for $15, $16, but put it in that app, and now all of a sudden it's $35. And I've canceled the whole thing. Like, yeah, no, I'm not that lazy today. Today I'm going to have to get up off my butt and do something, because I'm not paying $40 for a cheeseburger. I'm not doing it today. You know what I'm saying? So these are the different ways that we spend money. Free trials. We do a free trial and we forget to cancel it. Buy now, pay later, which is good. I always say it's decent for one, but if you have 5 buy now, pay later apps going at the same time, streaming services. You got all these streaming services and you always at work. You got all these streaming services and you at work. Then payday loan apps. I have had students who have had emotional reactions to deleting the Earning app. The Earning app, we were going through the course. They did not want to delete this app. It had them in a chokehold, and they had an emotional reaction to deleting it off their phone because they had worked it into their budget. Like, it was the biggest triumph for us to get to the point where they was able to cancel this app, baby. So these are the different things that cause us to spend money that we don't have to spend. So I'm just saying, like my client Tanya had it bad, baby. She had it bad for these apps, and she would get paid and she basically would use the app kind of like it was just another paycheck. But the thing about it is, once you take the money from it, when you get paid again, then you got to give all the money back. If you don't give all the money back, you can keep extending it, but you're extending it at a cost, which means you're consistently paying them and creating regular revenue for them. You know what I'm saying? So similar situation. Tanya made $95,000 a year. So she didn't quite make 6 figures, but she was close to 6 figures. She didn't have any children. She had 2 jobs. So it took her 2 jobs to make that $95,000. She didn't have any student loans. So to me, no children, $95,000, that's still a wonderful income. But she still felt like she was drowning. Why did she feel like she was drowning? Because she had about $70,000 in debt, and this debt does not include student loans. So initially, depending on student loan balances, I don't include student balances when we're calculating you paying off something. We're typically just calculating like credit cards, payday loans, personal loans, car loans, things like that. Those are the initial things you want to get paid off to reduce. Some people, I know a lot of people who have $400,000 and $500,000 student loan debt, so they might not be eliminating their student loan debt anytime soon. So it just depends on the person. The issue that when Tanya signed up for the course, because Her mistake was she didn't budget. That was her problem. Tanya didn't watch her money at all. She got a second job and felt like because she had a second job, whenever she would want to buy something, she would just buy it and be like, oh, well, I get paid from this job next week. I'll just, get the money back then. Or I get paid then, I'll get the money back. That's kind of the mentality she had. She was really busy because she was working both jobs. So she felt like, oh, well, whatever. I'm good. I ain't got no kids. I can live my life, my best life, YOLO, whatever. But the problem is she never checked where her money was going. She had no clue what money was actually coming in or what money was going out. And she is kind of the example of a lifestyle creep. So since she got a second job, she really just started increasing her lifestyle because she got the second job instead of using the second job to accomplish her goals. Tell them to explore the student loan forgiveness program. 120,000. Oh, nice. Yes. Good stuff. 120,000 wiped away. That is wonderful. Like that's beautiful. I got 4 years before mine would be wiped away myself, but I also don't owe much because I paid my way through my undergrad. So I only owe my master's. So I owe 39,000. So I don't have that much student loan debt. So I got 4 more years though. 4 years to go. So what she ended up doing is she bought a new car. She upgraded her phone. She got a whole new wardrobe. She was upgrading all the appliances around her house. And she felt like she made enough to get whatever she wanted because she didn't have any kids. You know what I'm saying? So she found herself struggling to carry the bills. Like her paycheck almost felt like it disappeared, even with her making a good, decent salary. So when she finally said she was fed up and she's ready to do something about it, she had watched her last Facebook story of somebody else on vacation. So she's sitting there, jealous because even though she worked these 2 jobs, she still couldn't travel like she wanted to, which we just talked about. You know what I'm saying? So what she really wanted to do is buy a house because her landlord went up on the rent every year and she was tired of it and she wanted to buy a house. So she signed up for the Money Moves. She signed up for the Money Moves course because she just really didn't know about money. Her money, her company, not her company, her family never talked about it. Oh, your doctorate increase. Well, hell, of course your doctorate increase your debt. If I went for a doctorate, it probably would too. But my major was MBA in finance. So unless I wanted to be a professor, it was like a doctorate in business. I didn't do it. But yes, I imagine it did. I imagine it did. So what Tanya problem was she had never really heard about money. She didn't know none of the terms. She really didn't know how to apply any of them. And then even with the down payment assistance programs for her to buy a house, they only included lower income individuals, or they wanted her to live in neighborhoods she didn't want to live. So she got right to it. She signed up for the Money Moves course. She took the course, got herself together, and once she implemented, she was slowly able to pick up the pieces. And the greater part about the courses and the membership is once you purchase it, you can watch it over and over again. You can watch it as many times as you're in education. See, exactly. If you're in education, I think it's excellent to have a doctorate. But for what I do, because I still have a 9-to-5, I didn't need a doctorate. But I possibly could have went and had more opportunities and did different things, but I don't think I'm going to go back for it. Not with these not with these costs. But so what she did was once she took the course, Tanya took the course, she got so good with it, she eliminated her credit card debt and she is now credit card debt free. She deleted the Earning app and she don't use it anymore at all. And she now is using the same principles and she teaches her family. She holds classes for her family to start teaching them and helping them learn how to budget from what she learned in the Money Moves course, which I thought that was dope. I thought that was really dope because that's what it's about. Like, to me, that's real generational wealth. When you learn and you pick up something like that and then you go and start teaching your family. So at the end of the day, to discover the root of your bad money habits, that's what you got to do. And if you're working on getting better with your spending and you're working on losing it, here's a couple of ways for you to, I guess you said a couple of solutions to your spending. Sticking to cash. This might be something that's a little bit harder for some people. If you don't like to operate in cash, what you can do is have a set amount that you set once you complete your budget and you know how much money you have to work with. You can just have that amount on this one account, on this one card, and you know that's your card to play with. Other than this card, once this card is empty and there's nothing else in this account, then you done. Then you have to also remind yourself that Rome was not built in a day. Rome was not built in a day. This is not going to happen in a day. You did not mess up and build up all of this debt and, find yourself in this predicament after a day. So it's going to take longer than a day to correct it. And that's okay. You have to be okay with that. Okay. And then lastly, what I typically suggest is putting your credit cards on punishment. I know a lot of creators recommend that you use credit cards and you charge everything with your credit card. But we talked about this on day 3, I believe. That's a very slippery slope if you have not addressed your money problems and you have not addressed your bad money habits. If you're swiping everything on your credit card, you possibly are creating a very bad situation for yourself because you don't have the discipline to make sure that you pay it off. So all you're doing is increasing your debt. So before you go into let me charge everything on my credit card and use my credit card like a debit card, improve your money habits. Until you improve your money habits, put your credit cards on punishment, which means that you delete them from Amazon. You delete them from the DoorDash and the Grubhubs. You delete them from PayPal and all those different apps that you use regularly so that if you don't have the actual money to make the purchase, you don't purchase it. Like point blank, period. And you take those cards out of your wallet so they're not accessible for you to use them and you put them away. And I've even had students who they didn't trust putting them away in their house. They've given their credit cards to somebody else until they got to the point where they could handle the cards being in the same house with them. Now, if you have somebody you can trust and you feel like it's that bad, like, well, you can't control it, find somebody that you can leave the cards with them. I've had students do that too. I am a firm believer in no cookie cutter solutions. You have to figure out what works for you. Personal finance is just that. It's personal. And it's a self-awareness journey of you realizing your own strengths, your own weaknesses, your own habits, your own thoughts, your own beliefs, and how those things affect your money and create your money habits. Okay. So we're moving right along. The secret sauce. The secret sauce is you're not missing out on anything when you're busy and you're working on your goals and your dream. You're not missing out on nothing. What's meant for you is for you. You're going to enjoy it so much better when you accomplish your goals. You're going to enjoy it so much better. Trust me when I tell you, life hit differently. It hits differently, y'all. It hits so much differently when you can go and you can enjoy your life and have fun. I just came back. Like I said, I just came back from traveling and I am relocating next week. So do I look like I'm stressed out at all? When I finish this, I'm going to bed to relax because I'm pretty much packed. And I'm good. Like when you are really frustrated about your finances, I'm telling you, it takes a toll on you. You find yourself up at night, you can't sleep. It's a thing. So another thing I like to do is give you suggestions of great personal finance books that are out there. Like I tell people, I would love for you to take my course, the Money Moves course, but I am not stuck on you have to. My goal is for you to get your money right. And that's with whoever it might be. Of course, I'm going to suggest my book, Budgets, Mindsets, and Money Moves. But there's a book called How Money Works. There's another one called We Should All Be Millionaires. And if you want me to send you this list, send me an inbox or DM me and I'll send you this list. If you're looking to buy a house, Life is Short, Buy the House. That's another book that I wrote. And then Cashing Out is a good book if you're looking to leave your 9-to-5 and like go into business. Get Good with Money by Tiffany Alicia is also a wonderful book. And then How We Can Win with Money. That's another great book. So if you're looking for that list, let me know. I have plenty of suggestions I can give you about personal finance books. Just let me know what topic you're looking for. Okay. Now, how? We talked about some of the spending ways that we get pulled into spending. Let's talk about some of the ways how we get pulled into spending. New gadgets, feeling like we always got to have a new gadget. Trying to prepare. We got to get prepared for whatever it is we're trying to do. Maybe you want to buy a house, you want to start a business, you want to start investing. We talked about some of those things yesterday with saving. Well, these are the reasons for you to slow down on your spending. These are the reasons for you to do better with your spending. so that you can increase and improve your financial health. Retirement. We if we're getting older, we're not definitely getting younger, and you want to be able to have the ability to retire. You don't want to get to the point where it's time to retire and you don't have enough money to retire, so now you forced to work in your 70s and 80s. I've been working since I was 15. I don't want to work in my 70s and 80s. If I'm working at 70, that means I would have been working, what's that, 55 years? Negative. This is like you're preparing for a test. If you're preparing for a test, one of the worst things you could possibly do is don't study for it at all. Don't prepare for it. Don't do anything for it. You got to take action. You got to be proactive. You got to study. You got to prepare. You got to find out what material is going to be tested on. It's the same thing with your finances. You don't leave them to just do what they want and then see how it comes out and just, pray for the best. No, that's not what you do. You prepare. You find out what you need to do. You educate yourself so that you can be test ready. Okay. Now, you all that's on here, you can't see this picture that I'm showing on my screen because you have to be in the actual challenge. But in the challenge, I have a picture of a store. So you know how you go through the store, and when it's time for you to check out at the store, they make you walk through that row, and then you got to walk through another row, and they have you walk through these different rows so you can be encouraged to spend more money while you wait in line. And they have everything in those rows, like car chargers, candles, perfumes, phone cases, little travel trinkets and little gadgets. All of that is just to encourage you to spend money while you're standing in line. All of it. That's why I ask people, does this look familiar? Because all of the typical stores, they have them. They make you stand in line amongst all of their things before you check out, because the goal is to have you pick some of those up by the time you get to the register. I'm, trying to let y'all know, trying to educate y'all. So when it comes to you being able to relieve yourself of the stress and eliminate the debt, if somebody gave you the opportunity to get rid of it and they gave you the opportunity to achieve wealth and eliminate debt and be able to take more control of your life, would you take it? Would you take that opportunity if somebody gave you that opportunity? Would you? I know I would, because I wish there was a resource when I was younger. And when I was going through this journey by myself and dealing with all of this on myself, it was stressful. I didn't have any like-minded people around me and no community of people to belong to, so that I felt like I belonged while I went through this journey. Because a lot of times the people around you are discouraging, especially if they're not on the same page as you. So you need somewhere that you can call home and that can be a safe space for you. That's what this course provides. If you want to take more control of your time, travel more, see more, do more, that's what you want to take this course for. I'm selling you freedom. I'm selling time freedom. I'm selling the ability to travel. I'm selling the ability for you to spend your money how you want to spend it. That's what this course is. And if you sign up for the course today, I'll give you a copy of my book, Budgets, Mindsets, and Money Moves, the one that I just read earlier. If you sign up today, you can get a free copy of that book, but you have to sign up today. If you don't sign up today, I don't know what to tell you, but you got to sign up by today if you want to get that. So I have a QR code that you can scan so you can get the course, and I'm actually giving you $50 off today. So I'm giving you a huge discount today to be able to get it. You can get it for $97. Okay. And that's definitely a one-time thing, because the cost of this course is $200. So for you to be able to get it for $100, I'm actually taking off $100. What I'm talking about, I'm taking off $100. So this is your chance. This is your opportunity to grab it. Again, it's a 4-week course with me. It's going to cover everything that we covered in this 5-day money challenge. And this is your opportunity to grab it. This is the end of the 5-day money challenge. Can I say we made it? Oh my gosh. This has been such a crazy, hectic week. I'm just so happy that I made it. I'm so proud of this course, and I put so much into it, and I love it. And I love the wins that my clients have gotten from taking this course. It's most of us didn't learn about personal finance growing up. We never were exposed to it. We never was able to and then talking about money was taboo growing up. We never really talked about money. So you get older and then you come into money, and then for a lot of us, you're the first person in your family to make these type of incomes. So you don't know how to manage it correctly. You don't know how to take control of your finances. So that's why I created the Money Moves course. The purpose of this course is to help you get better with money. And this is your best opportunity to get it for $97. You are not going to get it for that much any other time. I promise you that. So let me know, send me a DM. Thanks for the likes. Personally, I am ready to sign out today. I am ready to go live my best life and relax on Friday, and I don't have to get up tomorrow morning. Man, please. All right. Any questions? If we got any questions? Nope, no questions. Wherever you are watching this, please hit that like button, follow, subscribe. Wherever you are watching this, whatever platform you're watching on, like, follow, subscribe. Bam.